down.
Your mics are hot, gentlemen.
And they are putting it on the Jets.
Rudy Carpenter now on Rock Minuch with Jimmy B. So when you see Kyler Murray in a performance like that, Rudy, yesterday, does it kind of bring you back to maybe his 2020-21 seasons where he was actually showing off like a first-round pick? Is he kind of where he needs to be now?
I mean, it seems to look like it without a doubt. The guy's playing unbelievable. Not only is his completion percentage, obviously really good, but he's making the most of his opportunities in the run game as well, as you saw yesterday.
Yeah,
I also thought he did a good job. I thought he did a great job yesterday, too, in just, his toughness. I'm not saying his toughness has ever been questioned by anybody, but, I mean, it is a tough game, and as a quarterback, you have to stand in there sometimes, and he's done that.
How hard is it to connect 17 straight times?
Well, I mean, for me, it was really hard. For most people, it's really hard. But Kyler's made it look easy, and Jared Goff has also made it look easy this year as well. Jared Goff has had some unbelievable games this season stat-wise, and obviously Kyler yesterday, I think he only had a couple incompletions. He was able to, have 17 in a row. It's pretty impressive.
Rudy, I think the thing I looked at, how comfortable he is with the offense, stepping up, making his reads like right now. He came off, there's one series, one play, it was his third progression. He knew exactly where to go with the ball, as he should, but he seems very comfortable with this offense in order to complete a lot of check downs, drive the ball down the field. So for me, watching him, he's just comfortable with the offense in order to make plays or make throws when he has to.
Yeah, I mean, addressing the comfortability with the reads and getting through his progressions and, being able to get to his checkdowns. He's had a couple different offensive coordinators, obviously coaching change, GM changes. He's also had injuries and he's missed off-season practice. I don't really care what year in the NFL you're in or how long you've been in. It's really hard to be able to consistently go through your progressions, consistently go through your reads, consistently, get to the right, reads and right progressions and make the right decisions. That's hard when you have live bullets coming at you, especially when you have defensive coordinators who do a great job and they're able to defend against you and they're able to mix up their schemes and give you different types of, pressures and blitzes and defensive fronts, and all that stuff is very difficult, but Kyler's done a great job with it. He's been able to adapt. The offensive coordinator's been able to adapt. And I think one thing Kyler has seen is when you get the ball to your playmakers and you allow them to make plays, that's going to help you win games. And I think he understands that when you have the ability to limit negative plays and give your team a chance to stay ahead of the chain, that's going to put you in better position to win ball games as well. And that's one thing he's done the last few weeks.
And I think going under center with a lot of play action because of the success of the running game has helped him immensely to find some of those checkdowns. And then on top of that, utilize Trey McBride like he's utilizing him. It almost looks like a normal pro-style offense at times with a little trickeration mixed in there and a little RPO or spread on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a couple things, right? Like when you're an offensive coach, I mean, I've been on these radio shows for years and I've always complained about coaches not adapting to the things their players do well and adapting to what their players want to do, right? And they're always just trying to, come into a new system, come into a new team. Hey, this is my system. This is my scheme. This is what we're going to run. You guys are going to make it work. I think there needs to be a little bit of that, but I also think the coaching staff needs to adapt their scheme to what their players do well. And I think what we're seeing right now is Drew Petzing's done a good job of saying, hey, Kyler, I understand this is the type of scheme, the tempo, the RPOs, the half-field reads, the movements. These are the things you want to do. You've always been successful with. We're going to continue to do that. But at the end of the day, Kyler, I need you to understand that it's going to help you. If we can get our run game going and we can get our play action game going and we can force the defense into certain coverages and force them to play single high coverage and force and not allow them just to sit back and shell defense and and allow them to double team or play shell coverage over Marvin Harrison Jr., it's also going to help you. It's going to make it easier for you. We're going to be able to run, our single high zone beaters that a lot of times, are crossing route type concepts, flood concepts, and you're going to be able to get, a lot of chunk plays and big time plays that you see with other offenses. So I really think it's Drew Petzing and Kyle Murray coming together, you know what I mean? And being able to make both systems work.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, in all your years playing quarterback, college or in the NFL, did you ever take a shot like Kyler did and have your helmet fly almost all the way to the moon? I'm just curious if that ever happened to you.
I try not to ever compare myself to starting quarterbacks in the NFL because, at the very most, I just got paid to eat sunflower seeds and tell the starter what the coverage was and what blitz they brought and really tell him, what he should be doing because it looks really easy on the sidelines, So I try not to compare myself to the guys who are actually out there having to do it. But one thing I think I can fairly compare myself to that situation yesterday is I had more than one occasion where I took a hit like that. I think if you just Google my name, I think 100 of those come up when I was playing at ASU.
Speaking of ASU, 7-2, 4-2 in the Big 12. Big win over UCF. And how about this team being 5-0 at home? And this may come down to that BYU game on the 23rd for Arizona State as they are in the thick of it for the Big 12 now. How proud are you as an alum right now?
Yeah, I say it every week. They're finding different ways to do it every week, which is obviously impressive. Obviously the quarterback Levitt played great this week. They were able to do it without their catalyst in Scattaboo. And I kind of sound like a broken record, but if you're just going to talk about, purely coach of the year, you're not going to give coach of the year to a guy that, is ranked in the top 1, 2, 3 teams in the country. It's really hard right now. I could totally see how you would give the coach of the year to Cignetti out of Indiana because what they've been able to do is obviously incredible, and you can't argue with that. I think Kenny Dillingham is fair enough to probably say you can't argue with that. But with that being said, we know Bama's good. We know Georgia's good. We know these teams are good. But if you just talk about, from where a program was a year ago to where they are now and what they're able to do with the roster, Kenny Dillingham has to be in the conversation for the National Coach of the Year. He's done an incredible job.
Let's hope that happens. At least Big 12 Coach of the Year. He should at least get that, depending on what happens with BYU. But, hey, Rudy, we know you're busy. Thanks for taking some time for us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You got it. That's Rudy Carpenter joining us here on Rock Manooch with Jimmy B. One of the best closes we've had.
It is.
Rudy.
Normally it's just okay.
Sounds like he's outside training guys, whatever.
He's in the thick of what he loves to do, and that's coach football.
Getting that fresh air, feeling pretty good.
He's brought to you today by All City Towing. If you're looking to maybe change your career, get it to another level, well, they're hiring All City Towing. They got a lot of tenant jobs, drivers, customer service personnel, call takers, dispatchers, a slew of jobs. And they have a great 401k employer match. They got great health benefits and employer-paid life insurance. How about monthly fuel allowance? They have it all. So if you're ready to take your career to the next level, visit them online. It's the best way to get there, allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We'll recap the NFL Week 10 next, plus Roger